What if Stardew Valley started in winter and kept going after 28 days? With new winter crops, how much money can we make? Let's find out. Day 1, we began on a frosty new farm, ready to take on the harsh winter climate with our cute hats and sharp axes. Chopping down trees to make room for crops was a no-brainer. Even though winter in Stardew Valley is ordinarily desolate and unforgiving, we added a winter crops mod to enliven the freezing farm with budding life. I headed off to Pierre's to buy a handful of new seasonal seeds, while Rhea tilled the soil. We then watered them and continued deforesting to the point of exhaustion. The first snow graced the land on the third day, instilling us with the drive and motivation to keep plowing through. I explored the chilly Pelican Town, admiring the snowy scenery and stretching my legs. Back at the farm, we continued to decorate the areas surrounding our crops with cobble pathing and wood fences. Soon enough, harvest was upon us, and we were blessed with colorful winter flowers that we sold to afford more varieties of seeds. And the lovely Christmas roses followed not too shortly after. A week into winter, it was finally time to go mining for resources that we would surely require in the coming days. I reached level 2 foraging, and we gained a little more pocket change. As is customary in the frigid months, the ice fishing event arrived, and to no one's surprise, I triumphed. We returned to the mines and continued to grow our empire of wintry inventory, and my farming and mining level rose. Farm expansion was to be expected, and we were introduced to new crops, and the goal of potentially growing the winter trees was on our minds. We got a few scarecrows, and many of our crops were beginning to sprout as we traversed further into the mines for sprinkler materials. It was at this point we realized we had missed the entirety of the night market, but because this was no ordinary winter, there would be another happening soon. Now that we were starting to accumulate wealth, we poured our funds into many crops for the farm and expanded our furnace collection. A few days later, we had enough gold for the cheaper tree and excitedly planted it as soon as possible. Mining was providing us with increased resources, and it wasn't long before we brought in even more money with our Arctic items. The Feast of the Winter Star was nigh, and I gifted Haley an aquamarine. And received a pie from Maru, my beloved. It was then we decided we simply had to have one of those big Christmas trees for the farm, and Pinky swore we'd get one before winter's end. And now all we had to do was wait for our 2 trees to supply freezing fruit. By the end of the first 28 days of winter, we explored deeper in the mines and made it to day 29. With the start of Winter Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, we expanded the farm even further and planted as many crops as would fit. We were raking in more and more gold with our plethora of plants, and this is where I decided to surprise Rhea with a steed all her own, and began taking the steps necessary to get her one. We didn't miss the night market the next time it came around, and were quick to cover Snowden Farm with candy canes and festivities alike. The stable was built, and Rhea was overjoyed to meet her stallion with a very common horse name. By the time the next Feast of the Winter Star came around, we had plenty of money to splurge on the beautiful tree that we then placed lovingly on our farm and filled the land with holiday spirit. It may have been cold, and it may have been exceedingly white, but in a world as wintry as this one, we were somehow able to foster quite the cool farm. Thank you so much for watching! Do you prefer winter as it is in Stardew, or with mods? Until next time!